look good, do good, and feeling fantastic. We are here in Alabama, heading further up north under this load. And last night I was driving through Atlanta, some crazy traffic. And I got to thinking, this video isn't planned. This is like put it out now or record now and put it out the next day type of deal. So with the requested videos, I'm gonna try to start doing them next week. But as far as this title goes, when is the best time to become an owner-operator, an entrepreneur? And it really just depends. It does, because so many people have different opinions on what it is that we need to do when it comes to what we have going on with our pursuits, right? But when we down, it's very few people who would reach out, who would provide any type of guidance, who would provide resources, so on and so forth. But I personally feel, I'm gonna start dropping. First and foremost, thank you so much to Red Eye KB. You already know what you did, and I'm so grateful for everything. We look forward to your vlogs, man. I don't know if you live in life a little too much, but yeah, let's get with the vlogs. But as I mentioned with this video, when is the best time to become an owner-operator or an entrepreneur? And personally, I feel like whenever we're in dire times like this current time that we're going through, a person can comfortably be able to stay home 3 to possibly even 6 months and still have their business up and running and everything running its course, you know? Sometimes some people don't take into consideration how much more other people have on their plate as far as overhead, being the sole provider to one's family, different types of expenses in which one may have when it comes to the overall finances. The most important thing is just being able to sustain your business even through rough times. There are legit company drivers who are doing very well and thriving as a company driver with no complaints. And then there are some owner-operators who are just going through it because of the shift in the economy. But as long as you're doing what works best for you, nobody can tell you nothing, you know? As long as you're like staying afloat, getting the proper resources that you need, nobody can tell you nothing. I do commend those business owners who they tried it out. You know, they had their blueprint and everything going for them, and things just wasn't working out as they expected. So they had to take a detour, right? They went back to the drawing board and tried to figure out different alternatives to where they could be sustainable in whatever sense that's reasonable or feasible for them. But the worst thing to do in times like this is, let's say for instance, if I have a truck lease, right, and I'm like selling myself short just to make sure my truck lease is still up and going. If I can't do it, I can't do it. You know, if I have to turn my truck in, by all means I'll turn it in. But when the time comes and I'm ready to tackle it again, best believe I will make sure I have all my T's crossed and I's dotted for the next go around. As long as it's working for me, that's all that matters, you know? Nobody can really fault the next man or the next woman for trying. And that's why I'm so grateful to be in the position that I'm in, because I try my best not to put more on my plate than I can chew. So when I got my truck, I got it at the price that I got it at, and it worked for me. I didn't want no $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 truck because I knew that was way out of my comfort zone. A lot of times, many of us don't even like change, right? And when I got this truck, it was a huge financial change for me, and I knew it was going to be more responsibility for me, but I had to make sure whatever I did, it was going to make sense, and it was not going to put me in a position to where I'm struggling terribly, you know. So that's really my take on when is the right time to be an owner operator And I know I've mentioned this in previous videos. When I purchased my truck, it was at the height of the pandemic, May 2020, when people were turning in their equipment. I ended up taking a huge leap of faith, a big risk, and I bought my truck because of my work ethic. I had that type of mind at that point, like, oh, this is gonna work no matter what. With that plan A, I didn't see no other option. Many things we are experiencing ends up testing our faith, our character, our attitude, level of patience. We often get tested by the Most High or a higher power to even see sometimes how bad we want something to work. And as you already know, bad things don't last forever. I have had great moments as a company driver, but I enjoy what I do for the time being. In this industry especially, know your worth and don't settle for what these people are willing to give you when it comes to these rates. Granted, I don't condone nobody running out here for pennies, right? I don't condone no one running out here just for fuel. That doesn't make sense at all. And I wish I can fully elaborate on everything that has transpired within these past couple months, but once I applied for my whole broker authority, I knew that I wanted more outside of just having my motor carrier authority and my truck. I knew I wanted more, and I didn't want to be put in a position to where I'm confined to just one thing. So I like to exhaust all my resources, as I mentioned before. I encourage anyone to step out their comfort zone, especially if they put in that research and that time, because preparation is key. And Lord knows I'm just waiting on some time to pass as far as longevity of having a MC or a DOT number. There's certain customers I really do want to work with, and I just want to make sure everything is in order when working with them. Direct shippers are some of the greatest customers you could possibly gain out here as an owner operator, so I encourage you to try to look for direct shippers, But I love y'all much. Safe travels. Hopefully this resonated with somebody who's really going through it. Leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts. The intriguing aspect of this trip, if it wasn't for who I mentioned before, I would probably be home. I have grown accustomed to just running North and South Carolina, minimal miles for the most amount I can possibly gain. You get accustomed to running certain areas or certain terrains, and that's just what it is. I don't mind running parts of Virginia, parts of Tennessee, coming right back home. Being able to shower in the same shower every night is a plus to me, but sometimes you got to be able to do what you got to do and let it work best for you. So yeah. So what I do want to leave y'all with on this last part is, when we have a lot of fight in us, we are going to try everything in our power to make things work. And if not, we will figure it out on what to do next, So it's easy to discourage someone. It's easy to down someone else's pitfalls. Oh, you should have never bought that truck. You should never bought that house. You should never bought that car, this, that, and the third. But it's challenging to sit there. Oh, let me tell you how you can do this differently. Or let me tell you the proper way on how to do an oil sample or so on. It's just pick and choose your battles wisely, I guess. But do what you love what you do, let it work best for you, and don't let nobody discourage you. For real. Y'all stay safe, and until next time. Can you imagine looking for a trailer amongst hundreds of trailers? Come to find out the trailer done left a day before. Whew, the patience is real.